Imagine stumbling upon something so mind-blowing, so out of this world that it turns everything you thought you knew about science upside down. Well, that's exactly what happened in 1972 deep in the heart of Africa. Meet Francis Perrin, a physicist who was sitting in a nuclear fuel reprocessing plant in southern France. He was holding a dark, radioactive rock pulled straight from a mine in Africa, and he thought to himself, this cannot be possible. Why? Well, this just wasn't any rock. It contained uranium, but not just any uranium. It had something peculiar about it, something no one had seen before. Uranium is a heavy element found naturally in rocks, and it contains a mix of two types of isotopes, U-238, which is abundant, and U-235, which is the fissile type. Here's the kicker though. All natural uranium today contains 0.72% of U-235. It's a stable ratio, it's a predictable one, and it's constant. However, the uranium Perrin was holding had a ratio of only 0.717. Just a tiny difference, right? But that tiny change was enough to set off all of the alarms. What does this mean? Did someone tamper with the rock? Was it artificially altered in a nuclear chain reaction? That was the question that they need to figure out. After more research and on-site investigations, scientists made an extraordinary discovery. This wasn't an accident. This rock wasn't altered by human hands. It had gone through fission all by itself. Yeah, you heard that right. This uranium rock had naturally undergone fission, just like the fuel in a nuclear reactor. But hold up, there's more to the mystery. For a natural nuclear reactor to work, you need just a few things to line up perfectly. First, you need a critical mass of U-235 to start the chain reaction. And guess what? This rock had it. But that's not all. You also need something to slow down the neutrons, or the fission wouldn't continue. And in this case, nature had the perfect solution: water. The water acted as a perfect moderator, slowing the neutrons just enough to keep the reaction going. Without the water, this reaction wouldn't have been possible. Now let's talk about the geology. For this natural reactor to even exist, the geological conditions had to be just right. In today's Gabon, the uranium deposits were thick, large, and rich enough to allow fission to happen naturally. And here's the craziest part. This reactor didn't just happen overnight. It survived for over 2 billion years. Talk about a long-lasting, self-sustaining system. Experts suggest that there must have been other natural reactors like this around the world. But over time, geological processes, earthquakes, erosions, and even subductions may have destroyed or hidden them away. Oklo is truly a unique experience. This 2 billion year old natural nuclear reactor is the only one we know of, and it's a perfect example of how nature can sometimes outsmart even the brightest of minds. So next time you hear about nuclear reactors, just remember, before we even knew how to build one, nature had already figured it out. Thanks for watching and stay curious.